So the other question is, will ChatGPT replace our jobs? Now, that is a topic that has been trending. I have to accept that. And the answer to that is relative. Let me give you an example here. Remember, just a few years ago, few is relative depending on when you were born, there was the digital age disruption. And during that time, there are companies that actually died, the likes of Kodak. If you were born a few years ago, you remember there was a company called Kodak. And there was also another company called AOL. Now, those companies died. And the reason why those companies died is because they refused to change with the change that was coming. So, for instance, Kodak was busy selling films, which of course during those times were used to make, of course they were used extensively. Anytime you need the photo, you needed to have a film, and then somebody will pick it up and go and clean it and then bring you a photo after 2 weeks, 2 months, or even a year, depending on how busy they are. Now, they refused to accept that actually a change was coming and they needed to adapt to that change. The other example I can give you is the oncoming of the internet. Now, when internet came, I can assume there was a lot of resistance to the internet. For instance, many businesses died even then. Examples are cable television. Any company that was in cable television business died off if they did not accept that change and actually switched their business to something that makes more sense and something that actually people wanted to hear about. The other thing was landlines. Some of you who are very young may not know that actually there used to be landlines, which were these phones that were connected. So there was a wire that ran from one place to another place, and every time you needed to make a call, you needed to go to that booth and actually insert some coins and then make a call. Those things died when the internet came because you didn't need cables anymore. The other example I can give you here is the tractors. Imagine what was happening when tractors came. And there were those people that were imagining, no, we are good farming, tilling our land, and we don't want tractors to come because they are going to take our jobs, all right? And the other example I can give you is the wheel. When the wheel was invented, I was not there when the wheel was being invented, but you can imagine what was happening. There were people who had built their businesses on the inefficiencies that existed. And when the wheel came, what this thing did is that it made things easy to move. So, for instance, today we have cars that have wheels, and not even cars. Cars are even very advanced machines. If you need to move anything, you can move it easily with the assistance of a wheel. But I can assure you, the wheel experienced some serious resistance. But look at those 4 examples I have given you. And these are just examples. There are many thousands of examples that you can think of here. Everything that we are talking about here, every disruption that came, whether it was the digital age, it was the internet, it was tractors in farming, or it was the wheel, all these brought a positive advantage to our current lives. There is something else I'm going to tell you. 15 years ago, there are some jobs that didn't exist completely. Maybe because the internet was not there and these jobs are dependent on the internet. A good example is content creation. Look today at how many people are making their lives out of creating content on YouTube, and they are making a good living out of that. Look today at how many people are making a living out of being bloggers. If the internet didn't come, blogging would not be there. Something like content creation wouldn't be there. That has been enabled by the internet. The same internet that people thought is going to take their job and is going to be a disruptive technology that is not good, now is creating millions of jobs. Let me give you another example. This may not be 15 years ago, it may be a little bit further. Jobs like data science didn't exist. Actually, data science is even less than 15 years ago. Data science didn't exist as a job. But you can imagine today, many people are making their lives, and many are going that direction. They are going to making their living out of being a data scientist. All right. The other example I can give you is software engineering. Can you imagine software engineering didn't exist just a few years ago? And that has been brought, or that kind of jobs have been created by technology. So technology came, of course, many people felt disadvantaged, but then look at the advantage that created. So the thing is this, ChatGPT may or may not replace you, depends entirely on how you take it. All right? If you decide to be static and decide to stay there and complain, actually ChatGPT is going to replace your job. But if you become dynamic and you want to know what you can use it for, and not only ChatGPT, but any other AI that's coming, because AI is the future. That's it. We have to adapt and we have to go. So this is the thing. Try and see how you can improve your current position using artificial intelligence, whether it is ChatGPT or it is any other technology or any other AI that is out there. So if you don't want to get replaced, if you don't want to get redundant, then you have to find a way to make yourself relevant by using those technologies to make yourself more efficient. So change is here, and the change must happen. So the thing is, what will you do about it? So don't get replaced, adapt, and let's go.